Hello yogis, it's Naomi here from Amrita Yoga talking to you today about why the breath is so pivotal in our yoga practice. I'll then walk you through how to practice full yogic breath so you can have a chance to experience this very simple but very powerful breathing technique. Let's face it, many of us spend way too much of our day in a stressed out state, me included, and one way to reduce stress is to remove the stressor, but that is just impractical. We can't actually remove ourselves from peak hour traffic, a crying child, or a looming deadline. And whilst we can't always change the situation, we can change our response to it. So in yoga, in our physical practice, we are constantly placing ourselves into stressful situations to feel the heart rate and respiration quicker. These are called postures or poses. We induce a stress response in the body so that over time we can learn to find a calmness within it. And the key to that is the breath. The nervous system response, it's natural, it's a necessary part of our body response. But when we constantly release stress hormones, that will weaken our immune system and it affects our mental and physical health. So the respiratory and nervous systems have this symbiotic relationship. Just as our breath is altered when we're stressed, we'll usually pant or breathe quicker, we can also alter our breath to reduce our stress. So how then is full yogic breath any different to your everyday unconscious breathing? Chances are you're not using your abdomen and chest both to breathe right at this moment. And I'd encourage you just to pause this audio in order now to check how you're breathing. Try not to alter your breath. Just pause and check. If you watch your breath enough, you'll learn pretty quickly that you're either a belly breather or a chest breather. Sometimes you might be using both, but usually there's a preference for one. Now it's worth noting you aren't actually breathing into your belly, you are using the lower lobes of your lungs, and that feeling of breathing into the belly is created by the diaphragm rising, falling, and the pressure of the gases building in the abdominal cavity. What I'll teach you today is a thoracodiaphragmatic breathing technique, and it's basically a fancy way of saying that the whole torso is expanding and contracting. This is going to help increase your lung capacity, core stability, and it can help with everything from anxiety, stress, digestive and fertility issues, back pain, and just pain management in general. So how do we do it? If you were to puff your belly out now as far as it would go, you'd probably lose all your core control and stability for your lower back. So in order for us to keep that so that we can then use this breathing with our yoga postures later, it's essential that we start to switch on transverse abdominis. So imagine the bony protrudes of your pelvis, the ilium, are pulling lightly towards your pubis at the front and lightly towards your tailbone at the back. Then breathe in, filling up the navel all the way to the chest or even the base of the throat. And watch that your shoulders don't rise up dramatically. They should remain relaxed. Breathe out, allowing the chest to drop and the belly to pull back in lightly. Breathe in, feel the breath from the navel to the chest. Breathe out, chest drops and belly draws in. Now that we have that up and down motion, place your hands around your floating ribs. They're the lower down ones. I find it easier to place my hands to the opposite rib cage. You do what feels easier for you. As you take your breaths this time, see if you can accentuate the feeling of the ribs moving out to the sides. So they're going to press into your fingers. Breathe in, expanding out. Breathe out, contracting in. Keep going. Imagining your lungs like a balloon, stretching out as you fill it, shrinking a little as you let some air out. Breathe in, breathe out. And that's it. That is Dirga Pranayama or full yogic breathing.